All right, so hold on. We're not mic'd up. Okay, now we're mic'd up. Okay, so welcome back to the channel, guys. I am going to explain to you why I am trading in my 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. But before I get started, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the like button because that does help the YouTube algorithm. Channel's growing really well. I really appreciate the support. Trying to bring you guys better and better content. First, I am sorry about the echo. I am in my brand new 30x40 shop. Got a hoist behind me, you can't see it, but I'm gonna be doing a full build out video of our shop, how much it costs to build the shop, just so if you guys are in the market and want to build a pole barn, you're gonna have some numbers on that. So stay tuned for that video. Okay, why am I trading in my 2020 Jeep Gladiator? So let's go over a couple things that I absolutely love about this truck, and then let's go over some of the stuff that I don't like, just so you kind of get an idea of why I'm deciding to trade this truck in. In a little while later in the video, I will explain what I'm buying instead. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know. So if you don't, follow me at max.overlander to see behind the scenes and, you know, kind of see stuff before it comes on to YouTube. So let's start off with the stuff that I do love about this truck. I love a ton about it. I love the stance of it. I definitely love the LED lights. I think those are slick as crap, super bright. If you don't have the LED light package, I highly recommend upgrading or going with an aftermarket setup, because you know the regular halogen bulbs, I mean, it's probably just like holding candles right in front of your truck. These, no, I get flashed all the time with those headlights. Let's move on to the suspension. I have nothing bad to say about the Evo 2.5-inch lift. If you have not seen the video of how to fit 40s under this rig with just a 2.5-inch lift, I will post it up for you to check that video out. Really, all you need is the chop kit, which I still have on this truck. This is the Quake chop kit. It allows you to fit 40s with a 2.5-inch lift. So if you want to keep a low center of gravity, this setup I would highly recommend. Now, as you can see behind me, I do not have the bumper on anymore, the metal cloak bumper, which, by the way, I get a ridiculous amount of people asking me what that front bumper is, and it is a metal cloak frame built bumper, and I have pretty much all the add-ons. I have the Stinger add-on, and I have the fog light bumper add-on. So the next rig will have some Baja Designs lights in there instead of the stock LED lights, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's see, what else do I love about this truck? One of the things that I absolutely love about it is how capable it is. When you're driving a Jeep Gladiator, and if you own one, you can contest to this, if it is on a proper suspension, proper tires, i.e. 40-inch tires, I'll be honest, with 37s, I did struggle a bit, especially at like rocks and valleys and some of those other off-road parks. I was scraping the bottom a ton with this truck because it is a long wheelbase. But if you have it set up properly with, you know, even with a 2.5-inch lift, as long as you have 40s to get your ground clearance, it is a very, very capable truck. The places that I've gone, if you've not seen the Twisted Trails video yet, I put that up like 5-ish days ago, so make sure you go check out that video. I mean, I was very impressed with the stuff that this truck went up, and at that time I didn't even have lockers because I did the 513 gears, and for some reason my lockers were not working. So the fact that I did not have lockers and some of the stuff I climbed up Twisted Trails was incredible. So I mean, if you're even thinking about getting a Jeep Gladiator and you're worried about capability off-road, do not be worried about capability off-road, because this thing will go through anything you pretty much put it through. So, all right, let's see, another thing that I love about the truck. I love the fact that you are still driving a Jeep, but it's a truck. I tow with this thing. I have towed 7,000 pounds with it, actually a little over, probably closer to 8,000 pounds, and it towed awesome. Does it tow like a big full-size diesel truck? Well, no, but we can't expect it to tow like that. So the fact that you have a Jeep capabilities off-road, you have the ability to take the top off, and ability to take the doors off easily and still have a truck to be able to tow. I absolutely love that feature of this, you know, of having a Jeep Gladiator truck. It just has so many uses for it. I will be getting a bed rack for, well, hold on, let's talk about that in a second. I'm trying to keep you guys on the video, so make sure you hit that like button if you haven't liked it yet. So let's go into the stuff I don't like about this truck and why I'm trading it in. The very first thing I don't like about this truck, and this is my fault, I know it is, I get really shitty fuel mileage. I mean, I'm a real estate agent, you guys know this, I've talked about this multiple times, and I get horrible fuel mileage in this truck once I put the 40s on it. Now, shh. See, I tell you, I'm a real estate agent, and there goes my phone. When I put the 40s on, I thought, you know, the first couple roads I went down were more flat roads. And of course, summertime, you're going to get better fuel mileage versus wintertime. So I know that had something to do with it because it got cold pretty quickly after putting the 40s on. But going down a flat road, no wind, nothing, not towing anything, no extra weight on the truck. I was getting like 16, 17 miles a gallon. I was like, oh, sweet, this is awesome. Well, that didn't last at all. Once it started to get a little colder, I started getting used to driving it. I was really getting more like an average of 11 to 12 miles per gallon. And that's because I am doing such a big mixture of city and highway. Now, speaking of that, this thing on the highway with 40-inch tires gets like 13, 14 miles to the gallon at that RPM range with the 513 gears. If you're going 55 all the time, you're probably going to see more like 16, 17 miles per gallon. But how often are you realistically driving 55 miles an hour? You're not. If you're hitting the highway here in Michigan, it's 70 to 80 miles an hour, and it just does not get good fuel mileage. So that's one of the things I do not like about it. The other thing that I personally don't like is the leather seats in this model, because I have 3 Huskies, and I can't take them anywhere because the leather seats, I don't want them tearing them. Now I did have seat covers on them, so that definitely helped, but Maverick was still able, one of our male Huskies, he was still able to snag through the seat cover and onto the leather seats. Now I know that you can get like Carhartt seat covers or some of those super heavy duty covers, and that'll probably alleviate that issue. But the fact that I have leather seats, they're beautiful, they look amazing. You know, I would much rather have cloth seats in this thing because the dogs are going to be able to ride in, and actually, to be honest with you, the leather seats are not that comfortable. You ride in this thing for 45 minutes to an hour and your ass starts going numb and you got to get out and stretch. So I don't really like that. You know what? That's about I suppose I can't even really think of anything else I don't like, because I do like this truck. So that leads me into my new vehicle. The reason that I'm trading this in is because I ordered a 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon diesel. So that is why it's getting traded in. I'm not trading in because I don't want a Jeep Gladiator. I'm trading it in because I want the diesel version of the Gladiator. So now that I say that, that brings me into one of the other dislikes I do not like about this truck. With 40s on it and 513 gears, I personally think it's underpowered when you're off-road with it. When we're at Twisted Trails, like I said, you really need to go watch that video, because when I got on some steep inclines, it just did not have the power to get where I wanted to go. Now, there's some stuff I want to try that some guys pointed out, like trying it in manual mode. Me personally, every time I've used manual mode, it seems to still shift even if you're high in the RPMs. Now, maybe it's different off-road. I have not tested it, and that's kind of why I haven't tested it, just because driving down the road, when you tried manual mode and just punched it and didn't shift in time, it shifts for you. I'm sure it's a safety precaution, but if it does that off-road, what's the point of trying to use manual mode? So let's talk about why I chose a 2021 Jeep Gladiator diesel as my next truck. Well, 400 and some foot-pounds of torque, duh. Having a truck that has that much torque is going to be an amazing off-road. Not to mention that all that torque is available at 1400 RPM, so right when you need it, you can barely be on that fuel pedal and you're climbing whatever you're climbing with 400 and some foot-pounds of torque. I should probably look up what the torque rating actually is. 442 foot-pounds of torque. That's amazing torque numbers for a light Jeep Gladiator truck. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is because I waited until the diesel came out and some guys got their hands on them. And now that I've seen a couple of the Instagram guys that have the 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon diesel, and they have 40s on the truck, stock gearing, and getting average of 20 miles per gallon. For me, that's amazing. I mean, to go from 10 to 12, 14 on the best day to getting an average of 20 is going to be very good for me long term. And I hate stopping at the dang gas station every 2 seconds with this one. I think that is going to be amazing to be able to have further fuel range, have that torque. Obviously, later on down the road, I'm sure we're going to start upgrading these diesels and putting some, more power and more torque behind them. Hopefully, Jeep has figured out the issues with that engine, because I know the older generations of the diesel engine had some issues. I've got a couple buddies that have the Grand Cherokees, and they have regen issues all the time. I'm really hoping that they figured that out, because obviously in the beginning I'm not going to be removing all that stuff to void my warranty. I want to get through 60 to 80,000 miles, and if everything is good and I'm not having issues, maybe I'll think about deleting it at that time. But right now, I'm going to leave it alone and just drive it, enjoy the fuel mileage, enjoy the torque. We'll see if I need to re-gear, because I will be putting a bigger lift on, and my 40s are not getting traded in. As you can see, there's brand new Pentagonias under this. So the 40s will be going on the new truck, because you know what? Once you have 40s on one of these Jeep Gladiators, they look just super beefy, amazing. They perform amazing. I just can't imagine having a smaller tire on a Jeep Gladiator. Those are kind of my reasonings. Plus, I got to order this truck, so I ordered everything I wanted. When I get the truck, I will go over the options that I got on the 2021 Jeep Gladiator, kind of do a walkthrough, explain what I'm going to do to it, because there's a lot of really, really cool stuff that is going to be going on that truck. A prototype rack, maybe? Well, we'll see. I will show you guys that later. So I can't quite talk about that yet, but we will talk about it later on down the road. So I'm super, super excited to get the 2021. It's going to suck because I'm going to be without this thing for 4 or 5 weeks, maybe even longer than that. So you guys are going to see some more content of my Cherokee Chief build. I'm going to put the headers on. I'm going to start working on the axles. I got a Dana 14, not Dana 14, a 14 bolt Chevy rear end for it, and a 10 bolt front end that's already set up for 4-link suspension. So I'm going to see if it currently is set up properly for that, but we'll get into that a little later. And then I'm going to do that full build out of my shop. I want to get walls up, I want to get a ceiling up, I want to get insulation in here. That way the shop is heated, and get the wood stove installed. So this winter time, we can do all kinds of content out here and build up that sweet 1979 Cherokee Chief. So again, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because we got a lot of content coming. I'm super excited about the future of this channel. I appreciate the support. And you know what? If you guys want me to start getting any kind of merchandise or shirts or anything, let me know. I'm more than happy to do something like that if you guys are interested in it. Other than that, if you guys have any questions or opinions about the diesel Gladiator, throw them down in the comment sections. I'd love to get a conversation going. Other than that, I will talk to you guys soon, and have a great day.